Explore today's must-have trends and innovative styles at Mrs. B's Clearance and Outlet. Shop one-of-a-kind finds in today's must-have trends. Explore wall-to-wall deals, furniture, flooring, mattresses, home accents, seasonal favorites, and more. Discover unique new home decor, pillows, accessories, and more. There's something perfect for your style and budget. There's new inventory every day at up to 80% off suggested retail. Discover the style and savings of Mrs. B's Clearance and Outlet.
This is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Hello?
I'm going to stop you right there, Brand. You don't love it as much as I do. There's not a way you can love this movie more than me. I love it. It's my favorite. I'm stopping you right there. This is the best movie of all time.
You're not supposed to give a hot take.
It doesn't matter. That's how much I love this movie.
The intro is just a generality.
No, it feels very planned on your part.
It does not.
Like you've been sitting around all day waiting to jump in with this.
I love this movie.
But even when I'm not high on a movie, I still say I love. This is just a general.
It doesn't matter. That's how good this movie is.
The movie, I say that I despise.
You can't love
Hallmark
it more.
movies. Panda,
And this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
How are we 1,000 episodes in and you don't fundamentally understand what the intro is?
I think it's that good.
Possibly the first episode where a full intro didn't happen.
Yeah.
How do you feel
I
about
feel good.
messing up a tradition unlike any other?
Unlike any
The
other, and
Masters.
I ruined it. I'm here for it.
I wouldn't say you ruined it. You just messed it up.
I
You
did
messed it
not.
up.
I am that excited today, guys.
I'm glad.
Can you hold your card
I can't.
closer to the vest?
I won't. Not for a movie this good. It's art.
All right, fine. That's fair,
buddy.
Guys, it is a great day. It's a Tuesday. So for most people, their week's already started, but it's the first part of the week with the three of us in the crowd of life, and we just want to say, keep going, everybody. Welcome to another one.
crowd of life.
The crowd of life. Guys, I don't think you guys understand how important our jobs are. It is less about reviewing things and more about the fact that we are the background vibes for humans.
But where would you put us, like on a list of occupations? Like doctors are higher.
Yes.
Teachers of theater for like 35 years.
Yes, of course.
Higher. For sure, right?
Higher.
Probably
Higher.
higher than doctors, if we're being honest.
Lord, what's wrong with you? Can I ask you
I
that?
like that. That's funny. This just is.
This is what I'll say.
That's so good. I would need a second listen to fully pick up all the nuances of it. That was good, though.
I'm
That's
doing what I
really
can
good.
over here.
This is what I'll say about doctors. I feel like I once got in trouble for like not talking highly enough about doctors. I don't remember the
No, I remember that.
What did I do?
I think
You weren't big on one of the main occupations that you really like. We need to.
Where
exist.
was that? You were like, yeah. Well, I mean, I said elementary education majors were dumb, and I didn't say that for those who have not listened to the back catalog, but that was what people got from it, and I doubled down on it later, and then kept getting emails about it. So there's that.
So Panda's ruined the show. We have both said things that aren't great.
There was a profession. What was it?
It was like
I want to say
something.
it was.
People came
was
in
it
hot.
vets?
No. It was something about doctors and how, like, I don't know. Somehow I don't know. I don't want to say that I said they.
It wasn't the troops.
I don't want to say that they weren't like essential, but there was something about essential workers.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh boy, yeah. But then
Does that
you
ring
also said that the girl who made a field goal in college football just won.
What was it that I said? It wasn't my finest moment.
You basically doubled down on the fact that
It wasn't that impressive
the
or
losing
big of a
team
deal.
working together was a bigger. You basically said the losing team working together was better.
Boy, that's not a great take. That's not aged as well as I would hope.
You know what?
It wasn't great at the time. It's worse now.
Wouldn't give that take. Theater teacher of 35 years.
That's true. Absolutely. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's great to see everybody. Thank you
we
so much.
slammed notaries as well. That's
Notaries.
it.
Oh, notaries took it on the chin.
That-
Notaries. I want us to restart this episode because I don't even want to like have that word on our podcast.
That's the one I was thinking of.
I keyed. It's great to be here this week. Really excited about it. I think we got 3 bangers, if I can be honest with you. 3 exciting things to talk about between the Royal Romance, Signed, Sealed, Delivered,
Death by Chocolate,
Paris Time, and then Nikki Andrew solving crime.
What is it? Cater
to the death.
We still
Can you
don't
imagine
know
a cater to the
Oh
death?
my gosh.
Dude, they're both catering, and the only one that
It's
is left
time
in-
for Cater to the Death.
I baked some chicken here for the masses.
Oh no, all I brought was some hors d'oeuvres.
I brought dessert.
Looks like we got ourselves a real standoff.
I'm going to give you your just desserts.
God bless it. That's terrible.
It's not great. No,
No
it's
one's
not great.
asking for a bit there.
No, they weren't.
They weren't.
Actually, that's not true. Samantha was.
Samantha was.
Yes.
Thanks, Samantha.
She chimed in and said, we're bitless so far. Let's dive in.
Go.
We got a handful of fantastic grape reviews, and I appreciate that.
Yes, me
People
too.
left some reviews talking about the grapes, and guys, I don't want to oversell this.
No.
But grape is going away. That is by and large
the
been
consensus.
proven over the past week.
Scientific fact.
It's been scientific.
Yep.
And what I am so proud of that thesis is that at the time, and this is going to shock everyone, I didn't know where I was going with it. I threw it out there and I said, I don't know where I'm going
Everyone
with this.
thought it was planned,
But
Brandon.
you know what? I know.
You pulled
Everyone
back the curtain
I
there.
know. And now that I said it, I was like, I do believe that. So that's not a lie. But I'm glad that everybody else, this goes to show you guys, just throw out ideas every once in a while because you never know what's going to stick.
That's true.
And in this case, grape stuck because grape's not sticking.
Yeah.
Grape stuck because grape's not sticking. It was a weird
I
way
would
to
wear
start
that
the
T-shirt.
show. It
Grapes.
was a 1 in a million that would have had staying power and caused discussion in the reviews. But you know what? It did, Brandon.
It did, and that's what I'm proud of. Guys, are you ready to talk about a royal runaway romance?
Oh, man.
Panda, you're actually not going to give your hot take in this movie.
Nope, I'm not.
So
You gave it in the intro. So I
Yeah,
think we're
I'm
good.
going to skip.
Skip it.
Gonna skip it. It originally aired on April 9th, 2022. We don't have a 2022 guy yet?
I think we did it one time, and it was like, let's give the year guys a break.
Okay. How much are we selling them for?
Oh, it's expensive.
2022?
Yeah, 2022.
Greg, how much is 2022?
It's $6 million.
Because you are in charge of this, right?
No. Well, I'm in charge of booking, but Trace sets the price. And there was something about Frankie Muniz is like Dodge Dart. I don't know the whole story. You can ask her.
What was it?
You said $6 million, Trace, because of the dart. I don't know.
The dart.
Yep.
Yes, I want to play darts with Frankie.
For $6 million?
That's the price I was given on Cameo.
Trace
Wait,
is a
you can-
cameo?
No. Frankie's Cameo.
Frankie's charging $6 million to play darts with him?
Yes.
Did you get the real Frankie? I'm pretty sure he'd do that for a hot meal.
Yeah. I have I'm actually starting a new thing. It's like
Is this
Cameo.
Brand or Trace? I can't.
Trace.
Okay.
It's a new
They
thing.
do.
Sometimes things get crazy. It's a new thing. It's like Cameo. It's called Only Trace. And it's just me doing things, as of right now, all above board.
Really?
All above board.
Yeah. But, you know.
I don't think I want to.
I don't like it.
Did it go a little something like this?
It went a little something like this. Future Queen Amelia is getting herself portraited by a hot painter who seems
painter.
who seems to have the hots
Wes
for.
is a hot painter.
He's an American fellow. He's a hot painter,
Hot painter.
and his name is Wes, who is leaving in the morning. But they're going to spend one more evening together. That sounds wrong. They're just
Hot
talking.
painter.
Would you like some Thaline Blue?
She tells him.
Periwinkle. My brush strokes are on point. Hot painter.
She tells him that she tells him that she's never had such amazing conversation, and it feels very real. They are serious. She likes that he's not royalty, And he says that if you ever want to explore this thing further, come to the States. And then they kiss. Oh my gosh. Are we like an hour in? Nope. Check my watch. Just a couple minutes. Wow. So we find out that she apparently doesn't have to be married in order to be the queen, because this is 2022, y'all. We don't have to do this whole thing. Like, she can be queen. So no need to rush things with Wes. Her mom is less than pleased, though, to find out that she digs Wes, seeing as how he's a painter. Amelia convinces her uncle, who lives in the States now, to convince her mom that they should go take a trip to America so that she can take a trip to see Wes. It's you need a whiteboard to diagram it, but it's there. It's been 2 months since Wes left, and she's still hoping to see him. She calls Wes, and he's like, oh man, I'd love to come, but you're going to LA and I'm in Chicago and I got an art thing. Sorry. So, if you could come here, that'd be swell. So they end up going to LA, and there's a hunk named Grady. He's a hot driver.
Hot driver.
Thank you. Who's going to be her personal security and will take her anywhere and everywhere. She's frustrated because her passports are in a safe, and she has Grady following around everywhere. How's she supposed to get to Chicago, I ask myself. She manages to snag Grady's keys by getting very close to him. And the next morning, she gets to the car, and guess who's waiting for her? It's Grady, silly Grady. He tells her uncle that she's trying to sneak out, and the uncle is like, you know what? You should go. Grady will drive you. And Grady's like, what about my camping trip? And he's like, poo-poo your camping trip. So they're off to the races in a Mustang. They're loving life. They're bickering. And then she opens up about how she was supposed to go on this trip with her dad, but he passed away. And she comes up with this crazy idea that since Grady was going to miss his camping trip, that they should go camping. So they are loving that. And she also loves hot dogs and s'mores and loaded nachos, like American things. They end up stopping at a spring fling fest. And they stay and they dance, and she's just handing out dresses to everybody who's sad. It's great. And she and Grady slow dance, and he opens up about how he almost got married. And this woman recognizes Amelia for being almost queen. And the next day they walk out of the hotel, and the paparazzi is there waiting for her. Thank you, guys. A little late on the ball, but we'll get there. They get back on the road, and Wes calls them. And he's like, man, artist got an art. I don't know if I'm going to be hanging out on Monday anymore. Maybe Wednesday. We'll see. Paint's got to paint. Hot painter. They stay at a little Airbnb in Colorado, and she sees Grady shirtless. Ow! Oh, woo, woo, woo! Oh!
Hot driver.
And she really likes the owners of the Airbnb, and gives them a pearl necklace that they can sell and keep the B&B. So she's just so nice. They stop at they have a picnic, and things get hot and heavy. He's like, there's places in America I'd love to show you. And she's like, why don't we just keep driving then? And they almost kiss, but then they get interrupted by this dude who's just hanging out in the grass, and it's like, get out of here. They stop at Grady's parents' place. They eat burgers. Grady has a heart-to-heart with his dad, and then they talk about love. Don't you love love? They finally leave. They show up in Chicago. They did it. Woo! And Amelia has been real quiet. She's like, I'm thinking about how I'm sad that this road trip's over. Grady drops her off, and they hug. Wes shows up, hot painter, and she's like, she's all sad now, and that Grady's leaving, but Wes is there, so she's all conflicted. So they go to his art show, and he shows her his latest piece, and she starts talking, and it's like, you ever ask your subjects questions about how they love and stuff? And he's like, no, I don't care about my subjects. And she's like, I was a subject. And he's like, what was different? A couple then walks up and asks her for a picture at his art show. The nerve. Wes takes the picture and then seems annoyed, but then is like, we should go take pictures with the press. And she's like, have you ever even loved another person? And he's like, I work hard on my art, painting and stuff. It's all I do. And he's like, I don't get the question. And she's like, that's the problem. I'm going to leave now. Bye. Grady ended up back at his parents' house, and she goes to talk to her mom she's now in Chicago. And she's like, I'm sorry that I left. And her mom's like, I'm glad you did that. Her mom is like, the adventure's not over, though. Go find Grady and know that the crown will be here whenever you're ready for it. That crown is feisty. You know, it's like, whatever, you're ready for me. So she goes back to the parents' house, finds Grady, and she's like, I'm in love with you. And they kiss good ones. And then he's like, I love you too. And she's like, great, let's take an adventure. And they kiss some more. And then they get back in the car and they ditch the party. And that, my friends, was a royal runaway romance.
You said it wrong. For a movie you love, you switched the words around. But
It's a royal runaway romance.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Royal runaway romance. You said royal romance runaway, which is ridiculous.
I did. I typed it down wrong. That's not me.
That's okay. That's okay.
So excited about the movie.
I am.
We did it, everybody.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll talk about this movie even further here on Deck the Hallmark. We're back, everybody. We're talking about a royal runaway romance. Let's break this movie down. Let's start with a hot take. Panda.
Hot take?
I guess I'll start with you.
Yeah.
I have a feeling you hated it. So let's start with you. Let's tell the people how you were disappointed in this movie. Road trips are overrated and all that good stuff. Panda, what'd you think?
Yeah, it was all right. Guys, this movie's awesome. It is as if somebody at Hallmark just decided to go and plant themselves in my brain and extract all of the things I've wanted for years. A road trip, a royal movie. The only thing that was a little bit lacking was a castle, but even then we got a big home at the very beginning. It starts off over in her homeland. Guys, the soundtrack is even dope. There's a song that I Shazammed. I don't remember who it was because here's a weird thing.
I Shazam, huh?
I use Shazam.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I Shazammed a song in this video.
I Shazammed it, and maybe it was the same one.
I'll tell you which song I Shazammed.
Was it Castle?
Nope.
Her last name's Castle Land or something.
Castle Land. You know Castle Land.
I couldn't find it
There's
again.
a song by someone with the last name Castle Land and a
Or
royal
Castle
movie.
something.
No, I got Walk and Smile, in parentheses, alternate 11 by Ashley Thomas Clark.
There are 11 different versions of Walk and Smile.
It's that good.
It's that
Man,
good. It's a
it
bop.
must be.
Listen, this movie is delightful. Are there some weird, quirky things in this movie? Absolutely. Are there a lot of wait whats? Yeah, a handful. But overall, this movie is delightful. It's charming.
Better than
It's
Just
wonderful.
One Kiss.
Yeah. For me, it was. I had an absolute blast with this movie, and I feel like they did a good job with the road trip element to it. I thought it was fun, man. I love this movie, top notch.
Panda, you and I, we have a sort of kinship.
Yeah,
Because this is real good.
yeah, it is.
This is what we did here, man. This is what we did here. We did New Year, New Movies. We did Love You, Wary. We did whatever the other thing was, and we're gonna act like it didn't happen.
Yep.
Because so far, Spring
Taking
Fling,
a couple mulligans.
taking a couple months of mulligans,
Taking 8 or 9 mulligans.
and now we're in Spring Fling, and things are starting
Yeah,
to
they're
click.
popping.
Last week, so good. This week, it felt it. Last week, I would say like for sure real movie territory and like really good. And you could have convinced me that I wasn't watching Hallmark. This week still felt like Hallmark,
Yep.
but like in the best way. Like this is what I hope Hallmark is. I loved it. Thought it was a blast. I thought the road trip was really fun too. I thought all of the stops worked for me.
Yes, they did.
Even the spring dance.
I loved that,
Didn't see it coming.
and I wanted
Dan,
more of it.
Shut your face.
I've not said anything.
Yeah, you say it. That's why I said shut your face.
I've literally not interrupted
You've looked
either
at me.
of you
You've
for your
looked at me.
entire hot take.
You've
aside
looked
to
at
ask
me.
you to clarify. if the movie was better than
I'm
just
not
one
saying
kiss.
you were saying anything. I'm saying shut your face. You say a lot with your face.
Okay, all right.
Your face is saying a lot.
I'm
right now.
sorry.
Your
I'll
face
shut
is
my
running
face
its
down.
mouth an
Okay.
awful lot.
And
Got it.
I loved, obviously, old Brant Daughtry. That's not his name. Daughtry.
Doherty.
Brant, my guy. Yeah, we know you love. We know you. You know we love you. We know you love us. But this girl, I adored. I
Her
thought
name
she was.
sounds like it's a
It's
road name.
Northeast.
It's
Her last.
Philippa Northeast.
Yeah, sounds like she's like a.
Prince Philippa Northeast.
Yeah,
it's princess. Excuse me.
And I thought she was so good. Just adorbs. Both of them together was fantastic. Wes is the worst part of this movie, and I think we all agree on that.
But he was meant to be, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah. So this movie, absolutely fantastic. It's the second best of the year because I thought last week's was just a notch above qualitatively and originality and all of that.
I think last week had a higher degree of difficulty that
No doubt.
successfully
No
landed.
doubt.
And
Last
I don't
week
think,
is-
but for just on a personal level,
No doubt.
I fully acknowledge
No
last
one's-
week was
no one's-
fantastic.
no-
So
surprised.
You just said yeah. So you would say that last week's qualitatively
100,
is better.
yes, absolutely.
This movie was made for you.
And that's
Yes,
and
it was
there's
made
nothing
for
wrong
me.
with that.
It was
No
designed
one's
for
no
me.
one's surprised by that.
Yep,
So
yep.
an A+ for Brand. Dan.
This is not a good movie. I felt as though the road trip was planned by people who had never even been to America. Most of these stops are some form of horror movie. And then we'll talk about what they think Nebraska is a little bit later.
Sure.
It's a mess. There's a lot of heart in the movie. Philippa Northeast, never seen her, I don't think, in anything. I thought she was really, really good.
She only
Brent
has
Doherty-
a few credits on her IMDb, and one of them is a TV show for like over 350 episodes.
Was
or
it
something
was in
like that.
Australia, though. She's
yeah,
Australian.
something crazy like that.
It does not fall as bad as all those movies we watched in. I mean, I take that back.
It's not even, no.
I would say that Perfect Pairing I would watch again over this one. But the rest of those movies we watched in January, February, March were real bad. And and the other one, North to Home, is that what it was? North to Home's better than this. So it's better than the most of what we've seen. That's not a high bar. It's better just because it's a little bit different. Not much of it worked. It's not a spring movie at all. The color correction in this movie is absurd. There's no leaves in the
There's a
trees.
Springfest B.
Yeah, we'll talk about that Springfest B in a second. The road trip's a mess. The people here are like, the LaCroix of
Can I
knowing
ask
America.
you this? Did you like the two leads?
They were fun, yeah.
You liked them together.
Sure.
Then shove off.
The rest of it was bad.
Whatever.
It was bad. Why are you yelling?
Because I just want you to feel
We've been doing this a long time. I'm telling you, this is not a good movie. Wouldn't watch it again. Wouldn't watch it again.
watch you
Thought it was
again.
bad. But at least it was actively bad in a way that was better than a lot of the movies that just kind of sit there. So there's that.
You didn't enjoy this?
I didn't at all. 100% legitimately thought it was bad. I thought it was lazy. I thought the road trip was bad. And I thought if it wasn't for the two leads, it would have been a dumpster fire.
Are you out of the mud yet, or are you still there being a little stick?
Let's see what you did. Nicely done. Movie sucks.
Let's talk about all the feels. Panda, what you got, bud?
First of all, I love the scene when she's in the diner and she is just exuberant, wanting to try all the different things. Her energy on just every single thing being exciting for her. I loved all those scenes. A lot of fun. And then I've got to be honest with you, my favorite part, the dancing scene in the Spring Festival. That place is beautiful. That barn or wherever they're dancing, delightful. I'm here for it. Just wonderful. And then obviously road trip feels as they're going along. I love a good road trip.
We got to take one in June,
I'm
buddy.
so
gosh.
excited.
9.5 hours, buddy.
Oh, man.
Give me Arnie and Rosemary for 1,000, please. I love those two. The people, the B&B owners.
Oh, they were great.
Adorbs, and I want a whole movie about them. I thought the two of them were just sparks galore, and I thought they were really a really sweet, them talking about how they met and how it all just worked. So I want a movie, an Arnie and Rosemary movie. That's what I'm hoping for because I thought they were just.
I think you're going to get
Cute.
it.
You're still in the mud. It cleared. This just in. Dan's still there drowning.
This is going to help. I searched my heart, found nothing.
Oh my
Nothing.
gosh.
You didn't even find something.
Nothing in this movie moved me. Nothing in the movie moved me at all. It didn't. I'm sorry.
You didn't think that
Hate
her
it.
uncle was funny?
Was funny?
Like funny to be around. Like a funny
He was
guy.
cool. He was a cool uncle.
He's a cool uncle.
Cool? Yeah, he was a cool uncle.
Did you get cool uncle feels?
No. What do you want from me? I even would have rather them road tripped in the comfy SUV than the Mustang.
Yeah, we're back, everybody. We're
Yeah, boy.
talking about the romance Runaway thing. And we're doing a Wait What's. And very excited to do this. Panda, what do you got, buddy?
First of all, during the s'more scene, she's getting ready to blow out her marshmallow, and it just goes out, and then she goes and takes a big blow at it.
Yeah.
She goes,
Yeah.
After it's already out. I mean, clearly it's out. It's not even
To
close.
be fair, she's never had a s'more before.
So, yeah, and so I'm going to let it pass.
So
and I'm
maybe
gonna
she
let it
doesn't
slide.
know what fire is either. What is this element? It's hot to the touch.
Yeah, well, that wasn't the best. At one point, they're driving along, and there's a generic song that comes on that just says, "This is the first day of the rest of our lives." Was that the one you Shazammed? I don't know. Oh, no. And it's just the most generic of songs, because then it just breaks into the, like, just, and she goes, and I quote, she loves this song.
Yeah.
No,
It's
that's
her
not the
favorite
one I
song.
did.
That's her favorite song.
It's her favorite song. Grady. He's not the best bodyguard. And the only reason I'm saying that is he's great up until Chicago, where he has never met Wes. He knows nothing about
Deuces.
Wes. And then
Outta here.
he just drops her off, which I find astonishing, considering all the things they've gone through up to that point. And he just is like, hey, I hope you have fun in Chicago. I'll see you later. With the guy who has actively been putting her off
right.
for the past several days.
A guy whose mom wouldn't drive across country for him. Like,
Yeah.
he's the worst dude. And he's like, deuces, we'll see. I got to go boat with my parents. I'm sorry, I'm out.
That's not great. And then finally, I've never been to Nebraska.
I have. I've driven through it.
So you can answer this then. I was under the impression, just based off of things I've heard from people, that Nebraska is not a very hilly area with a lot of deep forest.
Yeah, stand on a speed bump, see the whole state. Now,
Right.
I looked it up to make sure, and they were like, there are a few, literally the word peaks are in quotes if you Google it. There are a few, like a couple of mountains that are 4,000 or 5,000 feet high, but they're on the far west side, from what I understand, of Nebraska. Like, it's nowhere close to Chicago. Like, the drive to Chicago would be 15 plus, like a lot of hours.
Yeah.
And there are not many of them at all. Where they are is a place in Nebraska called Canada.
Yes. Yeah.
That's where they are.
My best guess is they meant Wisconsin.
Above Chicago.
Like maybe we're like, because they made it seem like it's not far from Chicago.
No,
What's crazy is they do this thing where they're like, well, your parents are in Nebraska. Why don't we swing by Nebraska and you can say, hey, like it's out of the way. Guys, if you look at a map from Los Angeles to Chicago, you got to drive right through that mother. There's no way around it. You are going through Nebraska.
Can I go through it?
It's on your way to go through Nebraska. But the reason that no one knows that is because they're all in Canada. They don't know.
I have no idea where Nebraska is.
But a simple map quest would help you out.
Quest, boy. You print it out, you staple it together.
And it's great.
It's American
it never
pastime.
leads you
Lost
astray.
with a map quest.
There's no way. Once you print it out, it's airtight.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Guys, this girl is going to be queen. I'm not. Listen, this girl's going to be queen, and she's only getting 10,000 likes on Instagram. Step your game up, Amelia. Step it up. Fire your social media person
That's true.
and get a new one. 10,000 likes is unacceptable for someone who's going to be queen, and I stand by it.
What's the most likes we've ever gotten on something on social?
Not 10,000. No. Well, we're not going to be queen, though.
No, we're not going to
No.
be queen.
That's the last I heard. He tells her they're at this party and he says, you stand out in a crowd. And she says, maybe it's the whole princess thing. That was his point.
Good grief.
The point was, you're a princess. You stand out in a crowd.
Yep.
You didn't need to say it. We got it. You were there. Hey, our boy, Uncle, cool guy.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys should do this. And it's at this point that nothing is stopping him from going and getting the passports out of his safe.
I know.
Yes.
Passports are in his safe,
She
right?
could fly to the easily,
And that's way safer.
way safer, and just as much of a lie.
The only thing
to his sister.
I figure is that Uncle knows that she wanted to do this trip with her dad, and this is like, okay, you should finally do this trip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I figure.
I mean, it's
Aside
the
from
right
that,
thing to do.
Make memories.
The passport, in his safe. They're in his safe.
Yeah.
I'm to your point about it not being spring. When they're leaving the
It's
estate
probably
for the first
December
time
right now.
when they're leaving the estate, I'm fairly certain. I'm like 99%
Christmas
sure that it's snowing.
Well,
I'm 99% sure.
guys
If you
did-
look,
like you're giving me a hard time, and that's what you did notice the color correction in the movie.
yeah,
where
no,
everything has like
yeah,
a yellow
sure.
glow
whatever.
on it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
but they also filmed this like back in.
I'm pretty sure it was snowing.
Yeah.
Like if you
can
look
see
at the
people's breaths
bottom,
when they're talking outside.
But that happens in spring.
spring's a little dinker. It was
Early
cold
spring.
It was cold this weekend. It was snowing in California. You can look at the bottom right corners where I noticed it. You can kind of see these
mean in
little
Canada?
flurries. Yes. I'm 99% sure there were snowflakes, and I'd love for someone with the movie to back me up on this. Guys, what in the world is up with that chessboard? That is a
This
giant
is a
chessboard.
ginormous chessboard.
What in the world?
And they don't mention it.
No.
They're acting like it's normal, and it's like from the first Harry Potter. Queen to R7.
Those pieces are aggressive.
It's absurd.
This is what rich people do.
Big chess. You want to go play giant chess? Let's go. I got a board out back.
We are rich.
How can you not see the right move to make at that point?
Yeah,
Right? Like,
the pieces are literally over a foot tall each. I don't know how they're just not saying anything. Like
No.
it's like, hey, can we get a chessboard in here? And some prop guy's like, I thought it was supposed to come alive. It's not the Come Alive chessboard movie. I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong movie. Like just a normal chessboard set, Daryl, would be great. You don't have one. All right, we'll use the fake one. That was absurd.
So they're around the campfire. They're doing the s'mores, and she does this whole thing about how she grew up on American cinema. Her dad showed her all these amazing movies growing up, and that's how she fell in love with American.
You're going to get to it.
And at the end of this scene, she asks the question, "What do you call these?" S'mores. She didn't know the name of a s'more.
Didn't know it.
You're telling me you've grown up on really, I can't imagine that there's not s'mores around the world. But if you've seen a
graham
movie.
cracker are uniquely American.
Okay.
From my
But
understanding.
she's been watching American films her whole life.
There has to be a s'more somewhere.
S'mores, but the fact that people have not heard of them, that's absurd.
So what do you
I wish
call
we could
this?
take this to the tape over in Europe.
What do you call this? What do you call this?
We don't know where Brunford Berry is or whatever this place is.
Bunbury.
Bunbury. I was close.
Yeah, very close. My last one is I'm 99% sure her cell phone is a ham radio. She's on the phone. It's like, hold on. Go over to 4,400 hertz.
Dude, there's a great show, Today's Big Thing, if you catch it on
Oh
hand.
my gosh, it's so good. We did yeah.
So good.
Dan, what do you got, buddy?
I love how the makers of this movie think that America is California and then the rest of it. They get outside of California, and the first place they stop may be out of Steel Magnolias. There are like y'alls and how do you do there? And it is wild. Like they don't understand any of this. I do want to recap all these places that you found charming. Every one of them you're going to get murdered. There's an American flag decorated spring fling in an open air barn in Utah.
Awesome.
What is going on? The decorations are just American flags. They're eating corn on the cob. That's a July 4th October celebration in spring.
This movie took place exclusively in the South.
Get out. Get out right now. Get out right now. If you are at an open air barn spring fling with only American flag decorations, you're going to be shot. As soon as your accent is British, you're done. They still think you like owe them taxes or something. I promise. Don't do it.
I did think that eating corn during a spring fling is a bit
Well,
aggressive.
let me introduce you to the B&B with the candlelit dinner where just the owners attend. Can I give you any of that?
That's
because
fine.
there's
They're
a B&B,
adorable.
and
Stop.
the owners have just lit some candles for the four of us to eat before they murder
You
them.
take
Arnie and Rosemary's
Get out
names
now.
out of your mouth.
I never said their names. Get out right now. And then last stop is picnic on private property in Nebraska. People in Nebraska don't have mountains, but they do have guns and they love them. Get out right now. It's a horror movie waiting to happen. I can't believe that we, got through this. He goes back to Nebraska at the end of this movie, and these people are trying so hard to act. These poor actors, they are given no direction. His parents are great actors. They're given no direction at all of what people in Nebraska are like. And so they just go for generic American. And she says, we're going to have a good old fashioned cheeseburger night, which is great. All the people that say, you've been there, Brand. If you ever, twice a week you come in and you go, could we have a good old fashioned cheeseburger night?
It's right after Taco Tuesday.
Right.
Dude, Taco Tuesday and Wednesday is
Cheeseburger night.
It did feel like this movie was made by somebody who had loosely heard of America.
Yeah, they were like, I've heard of this place, America. And then the dad says, I slaved over the grill for an hour to make these burgers. Was the heat on, was it one charcoal? How did they even cook the ground beef? An hour, don't eat it. It's either still raw or it's a hockey puck. Don't eat that burger. An hour, even if you heat the coals up, it's maybe 25 minutes. Maybe. There are 4 of you. How many burgers did you cook? 100? Like, dude, have you ever been near
cheeseburger night, Dan? You don't just mess around.
I slaved over the grill.
But how melted is the cheese? You want to make
wanna
sure it's really melted.
You want to make it where it looks like it's just, you got to scrape it off the grill.
What is this on top of cheese? What do you call that? It's cheese.
I slaved over this grill for an hour, he said. Wes, hot painter Wes, whose paintings, I might add, are positively terrible. They're in the studio.
Someone painted them,
They're
Dan.
in the studio, and the whole road trip, it's like people know who the princess is. They figured out paparazzi. Everybody knows paparazzi. That was much better, guys. Second time around.
Thank you.
They're in his studio, and he says, "You seem to attract attention even here. If I had known, I'd have included your portrait in the show." Now, one, are you the dumbest person alive? Are you the dumbest person alive? You got to paint the princess with a bunch of other kind of humans, and you didn't think that would go well. Okay. 2, I don't know if you know this, Wes, that portrait's hanging on the wall in Castle Bunbury. You don't get that portrait.
Well, listen, you don't know about the draw that Mickey and Monty have.
You don't get that portrait.
The people come, they want to see Mickey and Monty. They don't care about the queen or the princess.
You don't.
Maybe he had a copy of it. Though.
He had a copy. He's selling copies at his art show.
Hello, guys. I did that portrait. I'm going to need it back, in fact, because I just realized you're the queen. And that would do good for me.
I did sell it for $500. Yeah. Is there any way you could maybe let me paint you another one? And then last but not least, we established she grew up on American cinema. She says there's so many other things on my list for my trip to America. And the 2 that she mentions are go to a Dodgers game. Fair.
Sure.
Fair.
Good pick.
And to a movie theater. Guys, movie theaters are literally everywhere. You can argue s'mores are American. Movie theaters we've been to a movie theater in Costa Rica. Movie theaters are across the globe. Do you mean to tell me that this princess has lived a life where she's somehow grown up on American cinema and never been to a movie theater? Never?
Maybe they don't have them where she's
This movie's dumb. That's all I've got.
Did she? Can I ask you? Did she say movie theater or did she say drive-in?
If she said drive-in, that helps me a lot because that is something that is American.
For some reason in my mind,
I did not hear drive-in, but I'm more than willing to admit I could have missed it. If somebody wants to clarify in the chat, BrambleJamPlus.com, please go ahead.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
You know they will.
Movie's
Can
bad.
I ask you guys this one? If you had a self-portrait of anyone in your house, who would you want?
Hillary Duff.
Rick Dilby.
Roger Rabbit.
Roger Rabbit. You would frame him. I see what you did there. It's very nicely done. Did you mean to do that? That's impressive. Also, and I do want to say this again, Nebraska is flat.
Yeah.
For those people making a movie about a road trip at home, if you're going to go across our great country.
I am fascinated at the choice. Like, just pick another state.
Any other state. There's the freaking Rocky Mountains they drove through.
Yeah.
Why Nebraska?
Well,
And why not have their
I can't
final
believe you guys
stop?
have defended, like,
Stop, shut it. You know exactly why, because we loved it. It was delightful and it was beautiful.
sheesh.
Why? But my thing is, why didn't they pick the final stop to be closer to Chicago? Like Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin's above it. That would be out of your
That
way.
would have been,
Above
and that
and
would
below.
have made more
but
sense.
But that makes sense because it's out of the way.
But they could have just done they could have just had his parents' home not in the mountains. Like, do that in.
No, you
like,
wouldn't do that. No, you wouldn't
Yeah,
do
it's
that.
too easy.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's crazy.
What the Hallmark? What you got?
So her friend, I don't remember her friend's name.
Daphne.
Daphne. Yeah.
Daphne loves Derby.
Yeah, I love Daphne. Daphne says that she does not want to undergo the wrath of the queen again because of something she had done earlier. And she doesn't mention what that is. She goes, but she still has nightmares about that. I want to know what that is. What Daphne seems like she's gotten on the wrong side of the queen before. What happened, Daph? I want to know.
What happened, Dap? I saw them live. They're fantastic.
So good. Guys, what happened to the paparazzi? You're telling me the paparazzi found them and just said, let's give them space? They drove off in a hurry. I don't think they want us to follow them. Let's give them the privacy they deserve. No, they're following you everywhere. They're getting in their cars. They're following you because you're the future queen.
That's what paparazzi
That's what the papa
do,
does.
if
Yeah.
you can believe it.
That's what the Rozzy means.
The Rozzy. That's right.
Papa.
Hi, I'm Papa, and I'm Rosie.
Are you looking at the camera? Are you in studio?
Yes. What would you like us to discuss?
The Oscars.
So, did you see that Oscar? That was crazy,
right? Yeah.
It's a very good job, guys. Very great.
Thank you. This has been Papa Rosie.
And that's why they drive around and follow you everywhere.
Dan, what do you got?
The Beverly Hills house, the mansion in this movie looks, and I'm just curious, this is a pure, is it the same? I'm watching a little bit of Bel Air on the Peacock.
Sure.
The Banks mansion in Bel Air and this mansion looked, I think it was the same mansion.
Wow.
That the uncle has. And I just want to know if it's the same one. If Bel Air's filmed in Canada, that would be irony.
Dude, that is wild.
Yeah, it's not great. There you have it. That's all I got.
Let's do the regular of the week where we dive into the life of a double decker. You can sign up at BengalGenPlus.com. You get so many perks. If you get to that middle or upper tier, you can join the Facebook group. And the upper tier gives you lunch. We had lunch with Nikki DeLoach last month. So all sorts of different reasons to sign up for Bengal Gen Plus. But the most important one is the double decker of the week.
Absolutely.
And does deep dives, tells you the life story of somebody who signed up for Bengal Gen Plus. Who do we have today, Dan?
Catherine Jensen.
Oh, man.
Catherine
Oh, my
Jensen.
gosh. We call her the queen of indie TV.
Queen of indie TV.
Yeah.
Who does?
Well, just the collective soul.
Sure.
And so,
Right.
you know.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. She's come up with a new TV show. I'm
No.
really excited. It's top notch.
Top notch. I knew it might be.
Top shelf, top notch. You guys know that Ansel, what's his name?
Ansel Elgort.
Yeah, Elgort. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a good
Baby
looking guy.
Driver.
Baby Driver.
right.
Yeah. So she
Driver.
she has this show where she grabs Ansel and she puts him in weird situations, like, and it kind of stresses him out a little bit. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
It's called Ansel in Distress.
Yeah. I thought that's where we were going. When you said stresses him out, I thought it was Ansel in distress. And he signs up for this every week, or is this against his will?
Well, no, it is against his will currently. This is
So this is a crime.
it might be, but this is the best of indie TV.
Okay.
And this is why it's pretty great.
Okay. So how many episodes have they made?
So far, 72. It's amazing he is not getting
He
on
continues to get captured. Do they give him anything at the end of this?
a high five, and they say thanks. And this has been Ansel. in
Does he
Distress.
seem to like it?
I think he
Like,
does.
is there a little bit at the end, like,
Yeah.
son of a...
Yeah, I mean, it's
Like,
always good.
Does
It's
he
always
know?
good
Is
natured.
it like a candid camera? Does he know it's happening, or does he think it's just a normal situation like Punked?
Well,
that's gotten
I
out of
think for the
hand?
first few episodes, but now it's been 72. You would
Yeah.
have to think he's getting caught. He
Anytime
doesn't
you're
seem
in
like a dummy.
distress, you have to
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, or I think
Like,
yeah.
how often is he
That's-
in distress to where there could be 72 episodes where he's still surprised?
I mean, he could be. I mean, that's 6 seasons of 12 episodes each.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot. That's
we
a
haven't
lot
heard
at this
about
point.
this.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, yeah.
And how is it ending?
Where's it
With-
airing?
A little known thing called Tubi.
Tubi. That's not
not
that
an
little
unknown
known.
thing.
A lot of
Yeah.
people know about Tubi.
Yeah, people know
really?
about
You
Tubi.
picked a real thing.
I know.
How did Tubi get the rights to Ansel in Distress? I feel like there'd be a bidding war.
Oh, well, not. There's some legal.
This is
issues.
amazing. So you're telling me that for free, people can watch Ansel in Distress?
Yeah, absolutely.
No
Unbelievable.
sign up required.
Channel 782.
It's not how Tubi works.
That's not how Tubi works at all.
Well, this Tubi it does.
Did you mean Pluto?
No,
You meant
I
Tubi.
meant
Tubi.
Pluto.
All right, great.
Whatever, good.
Right on.
We did it.
We'll be back more with later.
We'll be back more
with later.
With later.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas! First of all, I hated this movie. Are we doing that now? Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast. It's presented by Philo TV. It's produced by Brandon Gray and recorded live in, Greenville, South Carolina. Set decor is by Plum at Haywood Mall. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on Bramble Jam Podcast Network, you can go to bramblejampodcast.com.
You're about to hear some ads that help keep the lights on here at the studio. Feel free to listen. Feel free to turn it off, whatever you want to. But either way, thanks so much for your support.
Explore today's must-have trends and innovative styles at Mrs. B's Clearance and Outlet. Shop one-of-a-kind finds in today's must-have trends. Explore wall-to-wall deals, furniture, flooring, mattresses, home accents, seasonal favorites, and more. Discover unique new home decor, pillows, accessories, and more. There's something perfect for your style and budget. There's new inventory every day at up to 80% off suggested retail. Discover the style and savings of Mrs. B's Clearance and Outlet.